Petrolheads London. So, part of my little mini-series of Road Rant. And the thing I'm talking about today is lane sitters. God, this drives me crazy. And I think this is one of the things that means that motorways just don't flow in the UK. Now, I spend a lot of time driving in Europe, and quite often, you know, Italy, France, places like that, their motorways are only 2 lanes, and yet their roads all seem to flow perfectly. So why is it that we have 3, sometimes 4 or even 5 lanes on parts of the M25, that it just becomes a solid mass of flowing traffic? And to me, one of the big things are lane sitters. They're these people who have a sense of entitlement that they're going at a certain speed, so therefore they shouldn't move from that lane. The worst being when they sit in the middle lane, there's nothing on the inside, and therefore you've basically reduced the size of that motorway to 2 lanes instantly. I mean, come on guys, just move over. It's not making you go any slower, it's not, all you're doing is holding other people up potentially. And I just think it's just a really selfish move, and I don't think people do it necessarily consciously, but I just think there's quite a lot of people that do it. And when you look, as said, in European countries, people just move over and the road just flows so much better. Okay, I think we've got a far more densely populated country and more cars for the sort of number of roads, so that obviously all contributes to it. I'm not totally naive to that. As I said, this is supposed to be just some sort of fun observations. But lane sitting is just bloody irritating, if not beyond anything else. They did bring out a new law last year that was supposed to enforce this, or they were enforcing it more anyway, to stop people from lane sitting. So in theory, you could be fined for not changing lanes, or sort of not having that lane discipline. But frankly, I think it's made absolutely no difference whatsoever. I've seen no evidence of that actually happening or taking place. So let's have a quick look at some of these. It's quite difficult to try and find people when you're out and about, because it's one of those things that just tends to happen. And I think for me, the irritating thing is when you can come from the inside lane travelling at motorway speed, have to come, because you're not allowed to undertake in this country either on a motorway, so you have to come out to the middle lane, then out to the outside lane, then all the way back round them, so you do a loop, and they still don't move. They still don't think, oh, hold on, that guy's come all the way round me, maybe I should move to the inside lane. Oh no, there's none of that. So anyway, let's have a look at some of these. I've seen a couple of people on my journey today. It's not been particularly they've not been particularly sort of like exaggerated examples, faster than traffic, but why isn't he pulling in? So if I do it, look, and then all of a sudden it frees up a load of lanes behind me, and this causes traffic. People just sitting in these middle lanes and the outer lanes. To be fair, this is kind of mild in comparison. Some of them are really bad. They're just sitting in an outside lane where there's 2 totally free lanes in front of them, or worse still, in the middle. I think even the small amount of lane sitting contributes to this lack of flow. And we have a lot of traffic here in this country, and sometimes I perceive it to be more than others, but I'm not necessarily sure if that's true. But we just have this real sort of view that, well, actually I'm doing 70, which is the speed limit, which is not what I'm doing here because I'm in a restricted zone, but say they're doing 70 and I'm sat in the middle lane because, well, I'm doing the speed limit, so why would I move? Well, because there's nobody on the inside lane and there's a group of cars coming up behind you, and it would be just polite if anything else. So, here I am, I'm moving over here because I've now passed the car on my inside. All of a sudden it frees up the traffic, and you can't see because the camera's facing the other way, but there's a whole load of guys bunched up in front of me up here, and it's because people are just not moving over. So, bit of a pet hate of mine. I just think it would make driving here, far better if people just had a bit more lane discipline. Thank you for watching Petrolheads London. I hope you found this little article fun. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks.